Hey guys, what's up? Henry and I have been making some changes. I have been really concerned about a lot of the food recalls, and I have gotten on a rabbit trail of conspiracy theories about the 2030 initiative and about the lab grown meat and the lab grown eggs and the lab grown food. And if we can sanitize it and grow it in a lab, it's safe, but all of these other companies are not safe. And so there's all these recalls. And so I've gotten embroiled in this whole controversy. And I don't want to be. And so what I've decided to do for my mental health and for my safety and my family's safety is I'm going to make a lot more things from scratch. I'm going to use companies that I know and trust. I'm not going to spend a ton of time like diving down every single little rabbit hole that I see, but I am going to make some better decisions. I already shop locally, and I'm going to shop a lot more locally, and I'm going to be avoiding a lot more chains. And when I do get the bigger brands, I want to use the brands that I know to be good as much as we can know anything, and I'm going to not drive myself crazy with it. There's a lot of local farm stands in the area. I know I have talked a lot about Pineland Farms. It is not too terribly far from where I live. It's definitely a place that I could go once a week or several times a month. They raise their own beef there. They have chickens. They have gardens. Olivia's, which is a lettuce company in New England. They had a location there at one point. I'm not sure if they are still there. They have a creamery, so they have their own cheese. It's a great little place, and you can go and you can visit and you can see the cows and you can see, everything happening, and you can see how nice and clean everything is. And they also like to carry a lot of local brands like Stonewall Kitchen. And I mean, I don't know which brands are good and which brands are not. I know that when I'm flipping something over and looking and I'm seeing fewer ingredients, that's where I'm happy. That's where I'm going, and I'm noticing the food tastes so much better. Stonewall Kitchen, even the sea salt caramel ice cream topping versus Smucker's. Does it cost more? Yeah, but you know what? Not that much more, honestly. Because things have gotten so expensive that supporting this place, Stonewall Kitchen, which is a main company, or it was, I'm hoping it still is, but it tastes real. It tastes like sugar and cream and butter, and I mean, it's a delicious ice cream topping. Another brand that I have been supporting is Tillamook and Cabot. Although I have read some bad things about Cabot, but apparently they are like cooperatives. They're not corporations. So they are not selling out. Wyman's Blueberries. It's a local Maine company. It's owned by the Wyman family. So little changes like that, whatever your area is. I know a lot of you guys on here that I've talked to, you already support local businesses, you support local farms, you have things that you grow in your own gardens, or you raise chickens, or whatever you do. I'm going to be moving back to the family farm in about 6 months, probably, give or take. I'm hoping that things go really well with my business and I can get out there sooner. I would love to be out there and growing a garden next summer. At the very least, I'm going to have a lot of, because there's a lot to do when I get back out there. At the very least, I'm going to have a lot of container gardens to start out with, and I miss that. I used to have this planter on my front lawn, and I would plant all of these herbs that kind of worked well together, and it was this big tub, and I just had all of the herbs in it, and I would go out there and just harvest my herbs. And if I was making a chicken or whatever, and I would just go out there and get it, or I would make lavender lemonade and just all of these things, and I loved having that. I want to do a lot more of that. And I don't know if I'll ever be like a raising chickens person. I might be. I don't know. They kind of freak me out. I mean, Henry is enough bird for me. Also, I know a lot of people that have had to like slaughter them, and like they get an aggressive rooster, or I don't know. I don't know. I don't know enough about it. Not ruling it in, not ruling it out. But I want to be healthier. And so I've been making a lot of changes, and I've really been looking. One thing that this was a hard one. We are both recovering alcoholics, or we are sober. So I have almost 3 years of sobriety. Michael has a lot more than that. And so sugar is one of these things that you kind of replace alcohol with. So we were eating a lot of candy, and a lot of the candy that I liked was like the Cadbury cream eggs that come out for Easter, and then the Halloween candy that would come out, and like the Werewolf Track peanut butter cups, and all this stuff. And I was excited about them all. And then I started hearing about all this lab-grown chocolate, and how next year it's all going to be in the market and nobody's using real chocolate anymore. And so we started switching to like smaller places. We started going to like local chocolate places in Maine that make chocolate, and buying, a little bit of chocolate here and there. And we started buying some of the small batch, like Saunders caramels, things like that, and doing a little bit more research on our chocolate. But we are not eating as much chocolate because it's getting harder to find, and it's not like you can just add it all to a Target order, because they don't always have the brands that you're looking for. You kind of have to go and intentionally seek out a lot of these smaller brands. So Whole Foods is a great option. Trader Joe's, places like that, they tend to have more of the natural brands, the smaller brands, if you're looking for like a chain store. But anyway, that's about it. These are the changes that I'm making. I'm starting like an anti-inflammatory diet, and I'm realizing as I plug the food in. So right now I'm not really making a lot of changes in what I'm eating. I'm logging what I actually eat, and they're like, no, you're way over for the day, or you're way under for the day, or you should have added, spinach and walnuts to that, or whatever. So sugar, of course, very inflammatory. And so trying to cut down as much of that as possible, still having an occasional treat, and kind of swapping things out and seeing on the app like how it affects my daily flow of what I eat. And like this morning I had some pretty basic like egg and cheese bites that I made. They had some maple sausage in them from Applegate. They were, had a couple of those with a little bit of hot sauce on them. And, I'm trying to be more Whole Foods, more local, cleaner, things like that. Are you guys making any changes in your diet due to all of these recalls and things that are going on? Do you have some conspiracy theories that you want to discuss with me? I'm trying to kind of low-key avoid them, but I still want to hear about them, because my feed is full of them now. Because when you Google something and then everywhere you look, there it is, which is a whole other conspiracy theory. Anyway, making some changes, thought I would share it with you guys. I love you guys. I'm here. I'm going to tell you everything. It may look like I'm all over the map, and I am. I love you guys. Take care.